So you think NBA YoungBoy is just sitting quietly behind bars counting days and scribbling sad rap bars on person paper? What if I told you this man's cell is basically the headquarters of a whole underground crime syndicate right under the noses of the guards who are supposed to keep him in line? Picture this: a late night hallway in a Louisiana prison. One guard whispers to another, "Hey, paid me double, don't ask questions, just look away." That's how YoungBoy rules bend those metal doors. Word is his fins on the inside aren't fans at all. They're soldiers in a dirty hustle that's funneling drugs, burner phones, and threats all the way back to the streets off Baton Rouge. One slip up, one guard gone soft, and suddenly the warden's office has to cover up bruises and black eyes before reporters catch wind. But guess what? Tonight, a hidden camera just captured a chunk of this chaos, and when footage hits the streets, the entire game. I have to pick a side: stay loyal or admit their kingpin is orchestrating crime from a concrete box. Stay right here. You're not ready for their filthy secrets crawling through YoungBoy's prison walls. This is not just a lockup, it's a ticking bomb waiting to blow. If you think this derives your average rapper behind bars subtle, think again. The moment NBA YoungBoy stepped into his cell block, the entire prison routine turned into a backdoor underworld that not even Theoden fully controls anymore. Guards talk in whispers, inmates flinch when his name pops up on the daily check, because Rumour has it behind those cold bars. YoungBoy is running more deals than he ever did on the streets, and this time there's no rival gang to stop him, just iron gates. Crooked officers with shallow pockets on his very first night. Word spread like wildfire: YoungBoy sheer bet your rent he ain't playing Bino prison rules. And boy, were they right. An ex-inmate will call him D told our source that within 48 hours, YoungBoy had an entire supply chain moving through cell block D. Tobacco easy burners hidden in bread loaves. Coding didn't even ask how it makes this all worse. He's got backup. Half the guards desperate for a side hustle in this dusty excuse for a prison on his personal payroll. One officer, Sergeant Mackey, couldn't keep his mouth shut after catching YoungBoy's crew threatening another inmate for snitching about hidden phones. Mackey tried to file a report. Next day, his car was mysteriously set on fire in the staff parking lot. Nobody saw a thing. Mackey resigned within a week. You think Theoden cared? He's too busy pocketing hush money to risk exposing a system that's practically feeding on YoungBoy's $30. Meanwhile, the other inmates, they're divided like a pack of hungry wolves circling and unpredictably, in some worship him, some plan quiet revenge, but none dare move unless they're ready to gamble their next meal, their neck. One night, 312 lights out, but YoungBoy's cell window flickers. A tiny LED bulb hidden behind his mattress glows for hours. Rumour says he's writing new lyrics. Reality, he's counting profits and planning who gets a cut next month. His closest confidant in Thepersona, a tattooed lifer named Ricka, handles the threats anyone late on payments or found talking to officers up cleaning floors with a black eye and missing teeth. The local news won't cover it. What they've been fed official statements that YoungBoy is a model inmate enrolled in rehab programs and cooperative with staff. What a joke. Hindsight, it's practically a movie scene from Scarface minus the ocean view. One guard's cousin even swore they overheat YoungBoy telling a visitor, "I got more control on here than out there, homie, nobody can touch me here." Speaking of visitors, guess who shows up every month? Rain or shine, industry suits managers, ghost riders, and some shady business partners nobody can name without trembling. They come in with lawyer papers and walk out with signed hush agreements. So nothing leaks about what's really brewing between those mint walls. If you think his next mixtape is coming live from the studio, think again. Pieces of it are rumored to recorded inside the laundry room with the beatboxer inmate covering the background track and the other rapper, so they know. They smile on Instagram saying free YoungBoy. In their private DMs they whisper, better hope he didn't talk when he's out, or worse, they don't stay locked in too long pulling strings from inside, because if the Fed Seaver pulled the plug on this hush cause half the industry might go down with him. Here's the kicker: Despotil, the secret deals, coded notes, and smuggled burner phones. The chaos is starting to slip through the cracks. A rookie guard fresh out of training stumbled on an entire stash behind Fetch Apple's storage closet. He thought he'd be a hero. Instead, 2 days later, he accidentally slipped on a wet hallway floor, broke his jaw in 3 places, and resigned before He could even cash his second paycheck. Coincidence? Ask YoungBoy's fans on Twitter, they'll tell you he's too smart to. Leave trails. Meanwhile, Leperson administrators pretend to run an honest system. They brag about random cell checks and zero-tolerance second-strand policies on local TV. Viewed inside, it's all theater. The real show is happening under their noses, funded by the man they claim is just another inmate paying his debt to society. Finally, they knew how big that debt really is and how many people he's quietly paying off to keep the secrets buried. Some say this is the calm before the storm, that someone, maybe a guard with a guilty conscience, maybe a rival with nothing to lose, is going to blow the whistle and hand the feds a gold mine of hidden recordings and pay off receipts. If that happens, YoungBoy's house off cards could crash overnight, but until then he sleeps easy tucked under two blankets. He didn't have to beg for smiling at the bars. He calls my second studio. So what's next? Well, buckle up, because if you think this prison saga is slowing down, wait till you hear how he turned a routine jail cell into a power seat that reaches all the way back to Baton Rouge, and maybe, just maybe, into the bank accounts of a few famous rappers you thought were untouchable. Enemy on the outside truly understand. Show deep this rabbit hole goes to the casual fans scrolling past a free YoungBoy hash. It's just another bad boy rapper doing time and stacking verses for his comeback album. But to the men locked up with him, to the crooked officers cashing shady envelopes, to the terrified families back home wondering if tonight's phone call will drag them deeper into this mess. YoungBoy is not an inmate. He's the boss of a hidden empire carved out of concrete, barbed wire, and fear. After that rookie guard slipped, the warden knew the next loosemouth had to be handled delicate. Rumors say a special meeting was held late at night in the administration when Goni guard, who's now on paid leave in another state, claims they watched security footage of YoungBoy handing Gover rolled up notes to kitchen staff, notes that mapped out who owed what, how had stashed spots under toilet tanks, and will might flip for the right price. Theoden didn't destroy the evidence, locked it up deep in the archives, a bargaining chip if the feds ever come knocking on his door. Meanwhile, YoungBoy's influence led into the prison's daily grind. Morning roll call. If his block didn't want to be counted, somehow numbers still added up. Laundry day, his favorite jeans, especially Taylor Redby, a cellmate who used to sew designer knockoffs, always came back crisp and stained even when everyone else's clothes looked like they'd been chewed. Be rats, little favors, little perks, all part of the unspoken tax inmates paid to keep YoungBoy happy and quiet on their where deals and debts get settled out of sight. The atmosphere shifted on YoungBoy's lieutenants claimed their corners. What used to be casual benches for card games became unofficial check-in posts. If you owed YoungBoy's crew a favor, a smoke, a stolen phone charger, a smuggled snag, you paid up here. Or you didn't walk away with your front teeth. And you know what's insane? How these so-called gangsters outside will fold under real street pressure, but behind bars they cling to YoungBoy's protection like toddlers holding a blanket. He doesn't need muscle, he needs loyalty, and fear does the recruiting for him every week. An envelope slides under the door of a certain sergeant's office. Inside, prepaid debit cards, codes for phone credits, sometimes even prepaid ride shares for an officer's girlfriend waiting outside the gates. All of it hush money to ignore suspicious shakedowns or look the other way when a rival gets jumped near the showers. And if the money doesn't hush them, YoungBoy's crews, which is tactics they find out. Work at school, your spouse's routine, your grandma's house, to towns over. Sudden lit that hush money feels like the better option. If you're thinking, where's the person board? Where are the feds? Oh, they're watching. They know cementing the public doesn't. Busting YoungBoy right now would blow the lid off an infestation so big, so embarrassing, that a dozen careers would round overnight. So the system is what system always does, leaks just in crumbs. Make headlines, then quietly sweeps the rest under the rug until it's convenient to flip the table. Last month, an inmate named Marcus, nobody's special, just another petty thief, brag he'd sell a voice recording of YoungBoy rapping on a hidden phone. He thought get rich maybe by his freedom with a fat snitch payout. By dinner, Marcus was found in the infirmary with 2 cracked ribs and a story that he fell off his bunk. Nobody asked further questions. The next day, that phone recording magically vanished. Even the guard who confiscated it got transferred to a smaller, quieter facility miles away for personal safety. But the audacity doesn't stop there. Some insiders swear YoungBoy has a private routine every Sunday night, lights outdoor locked headphones. He dials a burner stashed inside a hollowed Bible cover and talks to his outside man round this ghost pipeline. He's got ibs on his label contracts, royalties, and even which rap beefs need to simmer or sizzle on social media. A few encrypted. Also cryptic post on Twitter, and suddenly your rival artist trending for all the wrong reasons, while YoungBoy sits in a cell pretending to pray in the visitor room, where familiars clutch plastic phones and beg loved ones to stay out of trouble. YoungBoy puts on a show for the cameras, calm voice shortens words, a polite nod to the guard butte off camera, his coded eye contact with this crew tells a whole different story. Keep the circle tight handle. The provolone former inmate swears he saw YoungBoy pass a folded napkin to a trusted driner inside it, 3 phone numbers on donate, single word debt. 2 days later there was locked down after a brawl that conveniently left YoungBoy untouched but removed to loud mouths who'd threatened to sell a story to the press. Prison staff have their excuses lined up. They claim they're overwhelmed and stuck enforcing rules that break as fast as they're written. When cornered by a local reporter, one guard laughed bitterly. This isn't a prison anymore. It's a hotel with secret always, and YoungBoy holds every spare key outside these fences. The rap world spins gossip like candy. Some fans thinks a victim trapped, harassed, misdared. Others worship him as a genius, a street legend crafting new. It's from a concrete fortress, but the real story is neither and both. He's exactly what he wants you to see, a poor boy from Baton Rouge turned monster turned martyr turned millionaire kingpin, depending on woes buying the mixtape, yet cracks keep forming. Court clerk in town claims a sealed affidavit might exist naming every guard on YoungBoy's payroll. A rookie prosecutor new to the DA's office wants to unseal it and drag everyone down in one bloody sweep that happens. YoungBoy's secret kingdom crumbles in an afternoon, but pulling the trigger means exposing the dirty hands of half the system, and you don't blow up your own machine unless you're ready to get fired first. So tonight YoungBoy lays on his thin mattress, humming lyrics nobody's yet, plotting chess moves in a board only he can see tomorrow. A snitch might squill, a guard might panic, or the whole house of cards might stand strong for another month. That's how his game works. He wins whether he stays locked up or walks out. Front Catetemero, but hold tight because in this next part, we'll peel back the last curtain and show you the faces behind his power, the secret deals on the outside, and the final betrayals that could either crown him a legend forever or bury him under 10 new charges before breakfast. If you've stuck around this long, you already know this isn't just about one rapper doing time. This is about a living, breathing storm swirling bend, steel doors powered by hush money fear, and a legend who figured out how to turn prison into his personal boardroom. But here's the question that keeps prison officials up at night: how long before his luck snaps in half? Because the truth is, cracks are spreading fast, and the people YoungBoy trusts most might be the ones to finally burn him alive from the inside out. Let's start with Rico, the tattooed lifer the Onivrion calls YoungBoy's right hand. For 2 years, Rico has handled the dirty work, threats, debt collection, silencing big mouths before they squeal. Word is Rico's tired. A man serving double life has nothing left to lose, and YoungBoy's steady river of cash isn't flowing like it used to. Insiders whisper Thadrico's been quietly pocketing more than his cut, skimming off the top to feed his own off-grid side hustle. Fake IDs and forged visitation passes sold to desperate inmates who want one more night with their girlfriends in the conjugal trailers. One guard so new hostile blushes during cell checks claims overheard Rico telling another mate, when this fool falls, I'll be the one to feed his bones to the wolves. Imagine it. A muscle man plotting a coup from inside the same concrete walls that protect him. But betrayal never stays hidden for long. YoungBoy might act calm humming verses in his cell, but he's been quietly replacing Rico's loyal soldiers by one he doesn't trust, the old dog in a more. And when trust dies behind bars, so as the man carrying your secrets. Meanwhile, outside these walls, bigger sharks are circling. Industry execs whom's bowed at YoungBoy's throne are readered of the hidden pay cuts, the hush deals, quiet threats to spill their secrets. One label owner drunk at an after party in Miami ran his mouth a little too loud, let him rot in their helix. My dirt, I leaked the feds the rest off his. By morning, that clip was gone from every phone in the room. Somebody's money made sure of that. But the man himself, he's now traveling with two bodai guards, all because he insulted a kingpin stuck in a 6x8 cage, but he rests poison that could kill YoungBoy Senpai faster than any riot or snitch families. Mothers, sisters, wives back home, the ones moving money between burner accounts to pay guards, smuggle goods, hush up distant cousins, they're exhausted, broke, and one slip from flipping on him, asked to save themselves from indictment, a cousin in Houston drunk. At a backyard barbecue told a friend, if they come for me, I'll hand him every bank receipt and text chain. I ain't dying for his songs. That friend sold the story for $3,000 and a promise of more if they can sneak photos. What about the feds? Quietly they're here to a young agent from Baton Rouge fresh out of Quantico made YoungBoy his personal session. He brags to local reporters off the record. He thinks he's untouchable. He's just one sloppy confession away from being my retirement, but his every phone call gets screened, delivery money, order flagged, every visitor's pockets checked twice they want to catch the king without tipping off the castle. But YoungBoy has been here before. He knows how to talk circle show, to promise threats and riddles, how to twist guilt into a love song. Fans scream along, never realizing half Deborah's hide-coded orders. Keep his empire alive and don't think the other rappers are blind while they shout for YoungBoy on social media. Half of the mayor praying he stays behind those walls out here. He's competition in there. He's drama that keeps the blogs buzzing but can't steal shows or headline. To big name rapper, you'd know him if I na met him. Even paid YoungBoy's lawyer a quiet visit offering 6 figures underthinkable. He can encourage YoungBoy to plead guilty and extend his stay. The lawyer laughed him out door, but the offer was real, and it's not the only one floating around. But what about the man himself? Rumour says he's been restless lately. Some days he stares at the wall so long even the guards swear they hear him whispering to ghosts. Other nights Block goes dead silent because of Orion knows he's in one of his mood spacing eyes cold. Nobody dares cross him for fear they'll end up next on Rico's unfinished list. Yet beneath all thatcherage and fire there's a ticking clock only YoungBoy can hear. He knows empires didn't last, not the street ones and Soreas, hell not the concrete ones where trust costs more than gold. So what dosh do he plots a finale so loud so insane it'll break the internet when it drops. Some say he's writing a confession album, naming names, exposing deals, promising blood and truth in the same breath. Others say he's got a plan to gomicing during a staged prison riot, vanish into the wind with enough dirty money to live forever in Cuba under a fake passport. And then there's the scariest rumor of all, that he's just going to flip hand the feds everything and watch the rap game burn to ashes, knowing his legend will never die even if he does for now. Though the lights flicker out at midnight sharp, his block settles into an easy sleep. Rico's crew keeps a lazy watch near the cell door, mumbling about debts and bruises and promises. Somewhere outside, the Rakijant rewinds another phone call desperate to hear the slip up that'll make his career, and inside his head and beyond, Boy smiles at the thought that all these people, the fans, the haters, the handlers, the fets, they're all just pawns in his story tomorrow, and no third secret will leak. Another rival will curse his name, and another guard will pocket dirty cash to feed a kid. Back home, that's how kingdoms survive. Evanones built inside cold concrete behind locked steel gates, but sooner or later every kingdom burns. So if you think this is over, think again the next time you see YoungBoy free trending. Ask yourself, oh really? Freedom, the warden, the fans, are the ghosts of every deal he buried beneath these prison floors. Keep watching, because the final chapter hasn't been written, and when it drops, world won't look away. Not this Timonot with blood on the bars and secrets that sink half the rap game overnight. So now you've heard it, the whispers behind cold steel, the secret streeted for hush money, the betrayals brewing in dark corners of a prison. Now warden dares fully control NBA YoungBoy's kingdom. Then some wild rumor it's a breathing monster fed by fear, loyalty, and the sick thrill of power where not or should exist. But here's the real kicker. Everything you just heard, it could crack wide open tomorrow if just own gird flips, if just one family member decides they're tired of blood money and constant fear. And if that happens, the rap game you thought you knew, the hits, the crews, the fake beefs will look like child's play compared to the chaos waiting to spill out of these prison walls. So what do you think is Boy genius playing chess Will let the rest of us watch checkers, or is he a walking time bomb seconds from blowing up? Everyone who ever shook his hand, drop your thoughts down below. Every theory rumor you've heard from Yorkison's cousin we want. And trust Meth's comment section is about to turn into its own crime scene once you'll start connecting the dots. Before you smash that like button if you want the next leak be for the headlines, twist it up, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell because when the next guard squeals or when YoungBoy himself decides to speak, you'll want to say you heard it here first. Raw, uncut, no filter. Stay curious, stay suspicious, and remember, in YoungBoy's world, loyalty buys safety, but the truth buys headlines. See you in the next one, and don't blink, you might miss the empire falling apart in real